Hey everyone, welcome to the Turing Test podcast. Today we're diving into how AI tutors, like Khanmigo and GPT-4 powered tools, are shaking up education. Imagine a classroom where every student has a personal tutor tailoring lessons just for them.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, wow, a whole new world where learning adapts to each student in real time, right?
Exactly. It's like a supercharged teaching assistant that can, pinpoint where a student might be struggling, say algebra, and then customize the lesson exactly to fix that gap.
Yeah, that's the idea. And that's what's generating so much buzz. The promise of personalization isn't just a trend, it's the actual key to making education more accessible. But then, there's this big question. Can these AI tutors truly transform education? Or are we just adding another layer to the system?
Right? So let's unpack that. On one hand, we've got these tools that can instantly assess what a student understands and what they need to work on. It's like every student gets a tailor-made study session without waiting for office hours.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But here's something that really stands out. This personalization can really level the playing field for many learning styles. However, I've been thinking, what about the schools that can't afford high-end devices or robust internet? Could this approach inadvertently widen the educational divide?
Great point. While the promise is to democratize high-quality education, there's a valid worry that schools with more resources might jump on board faster, leaving underfunded schools behind. It's like having a high-performance car when others are still riding bicycles.
True, exactly. So even if the intent is good, the infrastructure gap could mean that not every student benefits equally. And that's something educators really need to consider moving forward.
And then there's the whole debate about whether AI tutors could ever replace human teachers altogether. Some headlines suggest a revolution in education, and there's a lot of worry among teachers about job security. But I think it's more about enhancement than replacement.
Right. Because teaching isn't just about delivering facts. There's mentorship, empathy, and, a human connection that an AI just can't fully replicate.
Exactly. Look, when you have a student who's not just struggling with a problem, but also in need of emotional support, a teacher's presence is irreplaceable. It's like having a friend who guides you through tough times, not just a manual for
Yeah,
solving
quite so.
equations.
But I do wonder, if we free up teachers from time-consuming tasks like grading, aren't we risking making them, in a way, less central to the learning process? I mean, are we, potentially pushing them to the sidelines?
That's a fair challenge. I get where you're coming from. But think about it this way. The idea isn't to sideline teachers, but to enable them to focus on what they do best: mentoring, inspiring, and fostering emotional and social growth. Meanwhile, AI can handle the repetitive parts of the routine, like giving instant feedback on homework.
Right on. I see what you mean. The goal is to let teachers be more like guides or coaches, helping students develop life skills, rather than just lecturers. And in that light, AI tools become like an extra set of hands, rather than a full substitute.
Exactly. Think of it like this. It's like upgrading from a standard calculator to a smartphone. Both do calculations, but the smartphone opens up so much more in terms of interactivity and additional features. The teacher remains the heart of the classroom, providing the warmth and understanding that only a human can.
Mm-hmm. That's a really neat analogy. But there's still the lingering question about equity. If only well-funded schools can afford these AI tutors, then we risk, creating a kind of two-tiered educational system.
True, the risk is definitely there. If AI-powered tutoring requires expensive hardware or high-speed internet, then students in underserved areas might not get the same quality of personalized support. It's like having the latest app on one phone and an outdated device on another. One's going to lag behind.
Yep, and that gap might widen, making it even tougher for some students to catch up. So, it really calls for a more inclusive deployment strategy, like government or community initiatives, to ensure that every student has the basic infrastructure to benefit from these advances.
Absolutely. It's essential for policymakers and education leaders to balance the innovation with equal access. And that, I think, is one of the most compelling aspects of this discussion: the intersection of technology and social
Spot on.
justice in education.
And looking a bit further ahead, imagine what classrooms could look like in, say, the next 10 years. A blended environment where students get their personalized drill and practice from an AI, while teachers craft group projects, debates, and creative sessions.
Yes, exactly. It's like the classroom becomes a dynamic arena where digital tools handle the repetitive learning tasks, freeing humans to focus on, collaboration, critical thinking, and building social bonds.
Right, exactly. And there's another layer to it. A future where even the design of the curriculum becomes more adaptive to student needs. Teachers can gather real-time data from AI interactions, tweaking lessons on the fly. But that also puts a lot of responsibility on educators to understand and interpret that data in a meaningful way.
That's like having a dashboard in your car showing every little metric, which is great if you know how to use it, but overwhelming if you're not trained for it. There's a learning curve, both for teachers and administrators, to adapt to this tech-savvy environment.
Exactly. And while AI can give you numbers and suggestions, the human element is needed to read between the lines. Can an AI tell when a student is just having an off day versus truly not grasping a concept? That's where the teacher's intuition comes in.
Absolutely. And that's why the notion that AI tutors will completely replace human teachers is, well, a bit overblown. It's more of a partnership where technology complements the uniquely human skills we bring into the classroom.
Right, it's very much a collaborative future. I agree. And speaking of collaboration, there's something almost poetic about this whole shift. The idea of blending artificial intelligence with human intelligence to create a richer, more responsive educational environment.
It's like a symphony where AI plays the technical notes perfectly while teachers handle the emotional melody. Both are needed to create a harmonious classroom experience.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it. But there's this challenge that I think we should, consider seriously. Even if AI tutors are designed to be complementary, what about those students who might rely solely on digital interactions and miss out on human mentorship entirely? Aren't we risking a scenario where reliance on tech could lead to a kind of emotional disconnect?
That's a legitimate concern. I mean, if we lean too heavily on AI for everything, especially in the early formative years, we might see a dip in those essential interpersonal skills. But I think if we strike the right balance, teachers will always be there to foster real human connections.
Balance is key. It seems then that the future classroom is all about achieving the right integration. A bit of high-tech assistance with a whole lot of high-touch human interaction.
Exactly. And the intent behind AI tutors is not to rob the classroom of its warmth, but to take on the repetitive workload so that educators can focus on engaging with students on a much deeper, more personal level.
Right, that makes so much sense. And here's another interesting angle. The idea that as AI takes over the basic routine of instruction, teachers get more space to innovate their teaching methods. They can experiment with creative lesson plans, project-based learning, and interactive sessions that really spark curiosity.
Exactly. It's like moving from a one-size-fits-all approach to a truly personalized, dynamic educational experience. And that could make learning, much more engaging and effective for students in the long run.
Yep, definitely. I also love how this technological evolution forces us to reimagine what it really means to educate. Isn't education about developing not just intellectual skills, but also emotional intelligence, creativity, and social awareness?
Absolutely. It's like the future of education isn't just a high-tech upgrade. It's a whole transformation in the learning experience. And the human element, like teachers being mentors and community builders, remains central to that vision.
For sure, that's the dream. So when we look at all of this together, the narrative isn't one of replacement, but one of enhancement. AI tutors are here to amplify the strengths of our educational system, while letting human teachers shine where it matters most, building relationships and inspiring lifelong learning.
Yes, And honestly, even though technology is moving at a breakneck pace, it's important to remember that the future is as much about human connection as it is about data and
Right on,
algorithms.
very true. You know, it's kind of like we're tuning an orchestra. AI can handle a lot of the repetitive, precise notes, but it's the conductor, the teacher, who brings everything together, ensuring that every part of the performance has its human soul.
Exactly. And while there might be some bumps along the way, like ensuring equal access and mitigating over-reliance on digital tools, the potential for creating a more adaptive, inclusive, and innovative classroom is enormous.
Yeah, absolutely. It really comes down to balance and thoughtful implementation. If we can get that right, then AI tutors are not just a futuristic concept. They're a present reality that's already enhancing the way students learn.
And as we look ahead, it's inspiring to think about how this not only transforms academic performance, but also how it might help develop critical life skills like empathy, creativity, and effective communication.
Exactly. So, all in all, while there are challenges and concerns to iron out, like ensuring equity and retaining that essential human touch, the emerging collaboration between technology and teachers offers a promising path forward for education.
Right. It's about leveraging the best of both worlds, AI for precision and personalization, and teachers for the support that only a human heart can provide. It's a true evolution in how we approach learning.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for joining us today on the Turing test, where we dive deep into these transformative ideas. Remember, it's not just about technology, it's about making education truly personalized and empowering for every student, everywhere.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Stay curious, keep questioning, and see you next time on the Turing test.